It's a full parking lot. Hey there, record loving friends. Good to see you guys. It's your old pal Brian from tokyorecordstyle. I'm just having a quick 5-minute chill out here to get this stream off the ground. Nice, ace parking. Okay. Hey, Issa in the house. Mark Lassman and Issa is saying, what's up, Grass? And I don't see Grass's comment, and I'm going to change from, why am I, let's see here, top chat, change to live chat. That way I can see everybody's comments, I hope. Not sure. There's sometimes YouTube does this. It wants to not put everybody's chats up. Live chats. All chat messages are visible. Okay, interesting. I'm not seeing all the comments, but happy to have you here. It's your old pal Brian from tokyorecordstyle. Every morning I stream. I've been streaming every day for 6 months, over 6 months now. I've been streaming almost every day. I'd say 5.5 days a week. And the reason I'm doing that is for a couple of reasons. One, I have a posse of homies who are all gathering together, and it's just kind of a like chilled out, good vibe community of folks that we just don't really need to get caught up in a bunch of drama, and it's a drama-free zone. It's very groovy. And I didn't see that comment, Issa, but thanks for leaving it. And another reason I'm streaming at this time is because, sorry, Grass, if I can't see your comment, I will have to fix it. I'm not sure what the deal is. Another reason I'm streaming is to try to become a better broadcaster. I don't know if I'm making any headway there. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not, but it's a fun little experiment to just put yourself out there. The fact that I'm kind of not relying on a panel is kind of interesting, even though I have this, very endearing community who keep the conversation going with great comments. But it's an interesting experiment to put oneself out there in such a way. And I recommend it to anybody. Yeah, and just to see if, Tom Waits, some of my favorite artists have gotten sober, or, in their later years. Hey, Brian, already a good broadcaster. Well, thank you very much, Joe Morgan. I appreciate that. I think Keith got sober. Tom Waits got sober. Everybody got sober. And excuse me. And Tom Waits has this bit where he says, he thought the bard sort of character that he had created for himself, the drunkard, the tramp, he didn't know if his creativity, his wealth of creativity was coming from the persona that he created for himself, or if it was, if it relied on being a tramp. And he wanted to drain the pool, as he put it. I wanted to drain the pool and see what was left down there at the bottom once all the water was out of it. And that's kind of what I'm doing here by putting myself out there. Okay, yeah, I'm also, sober and have been for about 10 years. But this broadcasting thing is just see what happens, see what you're made of, see what you can, see what comes out of you. And the idea of just going for it, winging it a bit, stream of consciousness, it seems like it would be an intimidating prospect, but if you come at it with a bit of vulnerability, a bit of love for yourself, gentleness for yourself, you can crack some things open, which is kind of fun. So that's the reason that I do this. And the other reason that I do this is because when I come home at the end of the day, or excuse me, when I come home after I've just dropped the kids off at school, and when I come home at my house, I have like 30 minutes before I have to boogie off to work. And in that 30 minutes, I have a little bit of a house to myself, and I can like take a shower or do the laundry or wash the dishes or crank a record or just have the house to myself for like 30 minutes. When my wife comes home at the end of her day, there's already 2 kids who are there. So she doesn't get any time to have the house to herself. So I just stream at this time every morning as a way to kill some time so she can have 30 minutes of time by herself in the house, so she can brush her teeth and watch the news and just like make a cup of coffee and have some peace and quiet before she has to go on her whirlwind of a day. And so it's just this little window, and that's why I'm doing it from the car, is because yeah, so that's what I'm doing every day on the stream. And if you want to come be a part of the stream, there's a couple of ways that you can participate in it. Normally I stream just to a little posse, but you can come be a part of the posse, and you can join the YouTube members thing to do it, or there's other ways to do it. And you can just ping me or DM me on Instagram or on my website at tokyorecordstyle, and you can come be a part of this. And it's a cool crew. It's a really cool crew, and you don't have to like, you know, it's all good vibes. And the things that we do in this membership circle of people is we have a very active and ongoing Discord where we talk about music, and we have some like curated conversations basically, and they have to do with recent music acquisitions. They have to do with books that we're reading. I just got a new book from my friend Dagny. She sent me about 1,000-page novel of Shogun. Have you guys read Shogun? I haven't. James, I forget the last name. It's like, it's the paper that's got those like Bible leaf pages. It's gonna take me a month to read, but it's already off to a really good start. And but we have little book conversation. We have gear conversation. Anybody wants to talk about gear? What's up, Yornimer? Good to see you, buddy. And Joe and Grass and Isa, good to see you. And then we also have this really great conversation that it's called Top 5 Records, and every 2 weeks we put forth a new prompt. You know, top 5 side 1 track 1s, and then we all go to our record collections. There's about 20 of us or so, 25 of us, and we all go to our record collections and we pull out our top 5 records based on that prompt, and then we come back to the Discord and we write like little blips. We write like little, you know, excerpts from, you know, deeper sort of mental essays that we keep about these records. And it's a really fun way to exchange music, and we inspire each other to go out and get new music. And all the time people say like, hey, I picked up that record that you recommended, and I loved it, and it inspired me to pick up something else. And there's a lot of that, of like far more than I would have ever expected. So there's a lot of musical exchange that happens in the Discord. And yeah, so come be a part of it, and it's not that hard, and you don't have to exactly be a member you can hack your way into it. So send me a DM and get linked up, and we can make it work. But I set that up because what I want to talk about today is that sometimes when I come on these live streams, I have a little book that I keep my like notes in, and I try to come up with some things to talk about. Sometimes I got nothing, and today I kind of had a little bit of nothing, and I thought I would do a live stream and kind of brainstorm this idea that I've got for next April 2027. And I mentioned this Discord, and I mentioned this top 5 concept because it plays into this thing that I want to make happen in April, and I want to invite you to be a part of it. Good morning, Roy61 Orbison. Nice to see you. Good morning, Brian Son. Thanks for being here. And yeah, Mark and Yornimer. And so here's the deal. I'm gonna go for this. We're gonna go for it. And this is kind of a, let's call this a soft launch. This is this isn't even a soft launch. This is just an ongoing trickle of information. I'm gonna eventually make a big announcement. I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna plan it. I'm gonna map it out a little bit better. But this is a little brainstorming session, and I've already mentioned it a couple of times. But in April 2027, I want to invite you to come to Tokyo and to Japan and come be a part of a meetup, a vinyl homie, music loving, Instagram, YouTube, online, in real life homie meetup in Tokyo. Hamid, good to see you, buddy. Oh, my voice is not stable. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, my voice is not stable. Sorry, Hamid. I hope it gets stable again. Let me try one thing. Let me just turn my Wi-Fi off. Sometimes that'll help. Let's see here. Okay. All airfares will be taken care of, says Sea Fury. Okay, so here's what it is. I'm gonna map it out for you. It's still a crapshoot, a long shot, a Hail Mary. If it actually comes together, we'll see. I'm optimistic. I'm ambitious. I want to see it happen. If it really, really, really comes together, we'll see. But I think there's already half a dozen folks who are like, well, I'll do it, I'll come. And if we get half a dozen folks, I'm going to call that a giant success, because to rally, 6 people or, 6 people to like get on a plane, travel halfway around the world and come to a faraway place. Like I can't expect that there's going to be, 20 people, but I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to encourage you to see if we can align some stars and get some people here for a really fun time. A really, really fun time. And I want to brainstorm with you about what it could look like. And so here's what I'm imagining. It's the Japan Vinyl Record, Tokyo Record Summit, Hangout, Soiree, Meeting of the Minds. I'm not totally sure what we'll call it. Summit seems about right. Tokyo Record Summit, Tokyo Record Style, I don't know. But in April of 2027, that gives you 8, 9, 10 months to plan for this. So it's quite a ways off into the future. And if nothing changes with the Japanese yen, then it should be like a pretty affordable trip, depending on where you're coming from where you're coming from in the world. But right now the yen is in the tank, and your dollar goes a long way, even if it's a Canadian dollar or an Australian dollar. I mean, it's still, it's cheap to come to Japan, and I think it's going to be cheap for a while, for a long while actually. In fact, it may just get cheaper and cheaper. But the record getting has been good for a long time, and it's that window to get super, super cheap records isn't going to be open forever, and Japanese sellers understand that they're leaving money on the table when they don't sell to overseas buyers, and the prices are going up. But still, Japan is like a mecca of record collecting and record buying and record store enjoying to be had. So it's going to be a really, really amazing experience that like I get to have, every weekend. But I want to extend it to you, and I think if we can rally, 6, 8, 10, 12 people together, it would be a hoot to like pile in a van or to pile on the train and to go to some of the clusters of record stores around Tokyo and to have a big hangout and geek out on music and geek out on records. And I have a vision for what a weekend would look like. So first off, the town that I first landed in, basically, the area of Tokyo that I very first landed in is a hip little bohemian neighborhood called Shimokitazawa. You probably heard about it. It's sort of the Williamsburg of Tokyo. It's always been cool. It was cool in the 60s and 70s. It's always been like a little outpost of Shibuya, which is the big bustling, Times Square kind of station that's, a bit too much. And Shimokita's, it's already kind of played out a little bit, but it's still really charming. And what's cool about it is there's like a cluster of a dozen or more record stores there. There's Flash Disc Ranch, there's a Killer Disc Union, there's Jet Set Records, there's Pianola, Rana Records, Jazzy Sport. I'm probably spacing a couple. There's and right around the corner there's a handful more. Oh, Saboten Records, a new record shop I just discovered and not all that long ago, and etc. Shinjuku Records in Shimokita. Jeff Beck's shop is an amazing record store. There's lots of record stores there, and on every year, twice a year, there's a little mini neighborhoody record store that are called Pianola Records, run by this very cool cat called Yohei-san. And it's kind of a pretty eccentric sort of record store. And they have lots of, obscure records. Oddly enough, I mentioned Tom Waits at the top of this broadcast. One of the gateways into obscure music that Yohei had was through Tom Waits and through his particularly avant-garde eras, swordfish trombones and such. So he loves, deep digger type stuff and, contemporary classic and avant-garde and Moondog and, very interesting deep digger type music. But his record store has a bit of everything. And Pianola, he also has his own label called Kotonala, I never remember how to say it, Konotala Records. And he's got a dozen records on his label and some very interesting music. And twice a year, he assembles about 20 different record vendors, some of whom are like bigger shops, some of whom are smaller shops, most of whom are kind of smaller and individuals or kind of record collectors who might be like you and me. And he hosts a 2-day record fair in this kind of like picnic court, like food court, outdoor sort of food court outside his shop. It's called the Bonus Track Record Fair. And hey, Marty in Oregon, good to see you, buddy. Joe Morgan, sounds great, cheaper and cheaper. Send my ticket and per diem directly to Seattle. Well, where there's a will, there's a way. Good morning and nice to see you from morning. You make our day, brother. Oh, thank you, Hamid. Get ready for work. See you soon. Yes, I work near Hamid. I'd love to do that, says Joe Morgan. Hopefully I can. It sounds like a fantastic thing. Sounds great here. Okay, all airfares. Okay, so here's what it can look like. This record fair is very, very cool, so long as it doesn't rain. But it's not your typical record fair. It's not a bunch of sellers with a bunch of classic rock and a bunch of Beatles records. It's not that. It's a garage sale with a bunch of weirdos who bring their records, basically. It's a pop-up flea market kind of vibe. It's not flea market-y. It's a proper record fair. There's not just people selling, goods and wares. It's a record fair. But it's people who bring 3 boxes, 10 boxes. There's one dude who brings 50 boxes, but everybody's got, a handful of stuff, and you can actually get through the entire thing in a couple hours. So I want to align this meetup, this Tokyo Record Style Summit meetup, along with the Bonus Track Record Fair. And that happens to be, I think, unconfirmed yet, but April 24th and 25th, I think. Saturday and Sunday, April 24th and 25th. So that's a Saturday and a Sunday. And here's what I want. It's Mazzy says here. Make sure you have the 6K VIP option with all the sushi you can eat. Um, it's BYOB. Everybody, pays their own way. I probably would have things that you can, if depending on how many people come, we can add in, we can all go in on a car, we can charter a car, or we can charter a boat, or we can get on a train and go somewhere, and probably a meal. The way we'd pay for meals is, I'd set something up in advance, and everybody'd be, $50 a head or $20 a head or whatever it would be. We do a few things like this, but basically, yeah, BYOB. So, hey, Joe Williams, hey, AZ Beltry, hey, DJ Mr. Joel. Nice to see all you guys. So, and Christopher, I just saw you. Okay, I'll be there. Lock me in. I'm not a super deep record head, but I can't say no to a ridiculous fun experience. I'm not a deep record head either, but I've found heaps of really cool stuff. Traveling Flower Band was a record I just remember I scored there, and I got it for like $40, and I came home and found out it was like a $200 record. What else did I've got? What I'm trying to think of. I've gotten heaps of great records there. So that's on a Saturday and Sunday. So here's what I want. Here's what I want you to kind of think about. I want the official summit to start on a Thursday night. Okay, this is the Thursday night before the Saturday and Sunday record fair. Thursday night, you can get to Tokyo on the Monday, you can get to Tokyo on the Wednesday, you can get to Tokyo on the Thursday morning, but on Thursday night, we're going to have the official welcome drinks. And those welcome drinks, where will they be? They could be in a place where we're like schmoozing with tapas and standing up and meeting others, and it's allowed in a place where we can be kind of loud, and maybe a great view of the city, on top of Tokyo somewhere, something really cool where you can really get a sense of the scale of the place and just get a sense of the the wonder of Tokyo. It's an amazing city. Looks like a jewelry box from up on top of one of these buildings with all the red lights. It's it's so cool, right? So maybe that could be an idea. And maybe that's, cash on, we call it, cash on at the bar. Everybody just buys their own drinks. There's no drink as much as you want, as little as you want. Come and say hello, stay a little bit, stay a long ways. And that's on Thursday. Okay. So Thursday we have some place. It could be a record listening bar, although I kind of want to save the record listening bar for maybe another day. But we find some cool place to meet up that has some wow factor, and that you can come in and get a sense of the city. That's our Thursday night welcome drinks. It's just a chance for everybody to come and hang out. Maybe we wrap it up, before midnight. Last trains are about, depends on where you are, but it could be basically midnight. Taxis, not super expensive, but depends on how far you get how far you have to go across the city. But we can get that all lined up, and you can understand the places that we're going to be, and you can try to make your accommodations not far from there. But basically, Tokyo's super, super easy to get around, and we have the car and Ubers and taxis and trains, and it's all very, very user friendly. Hey, Breakfast King of Loyal, nice to see you. So Thursday nights is welcome drinks. Friday is record store adventure. It's hop in a car, depending on how many of us there are. If there's 6 of us, then we hop in this vehicle and we go hit a dozen record stores in Shinjuku, VDS over on the east side of town, Tower Records, Disc Union, Kichijoji, HMV. We go and do like a proper record store day where we're bouncing all around the city, and we're having like a crazy fun adventure where we're going to like lots of different record shops, and we're stopping for lunch, and we all have a nice lunch together, and there's some kind of maybe afternoon a special cultural experience. I don't know, maybe a stop at Universal Tokyo, where we can see some kind of interesting exhibit, or maybe go to the top of Tokyo Sky Tree, which is the tallest tower, freestanding tower in the world, and or something. I don't know. Maybe there's one sort of cultural thing. We go to the castle, or we go to the shrine, or there's a couple of things that we can do. A temple would be ideal. Yeah, Meiji Jingu Shrine. You get a little orientation. That could be, and that's actually probably a better idea than afternoon. The morning, because the record stores aren't even open in the morning. Maybe the morning time, you go to Meiji Jingu. You get to zen out at the big, beautiful, very important, most important, highest shrine in Tokyo. Have a little morning moment. We all meet together for a coffee. Then we go do this record store bonanza. Then we end up at a izakaya, a very lively izakaya for dinner. That izakaya could be Miyashita Park, where there's like heaps of places and everybody can get a little bit of everything. We could go to Gonpachi, where the Kill Bill movie was based on, a really cool yakitori izakaya, yakitori-yasan izakaya, very cool place. We could go to Iseya in Kichijoji and have kind of a locals only kind of experience. Picnic in Yoyogi Park. Hold on, we're not there yet, Fidelity, on Sunday. We're still on Friday. Walking up to the giant Buddha in the center of Tokyo is a vibe. That could be cool. Or the robot show in Kabukicho would be awesome. See, if you're, unfortunately, the robot restaurant is gone. It was like a tax thing. It was like a big tax evasion thing by the Yakuza. It's sadly no longer there, but there's things like that, There's sort of random entertainment. Anyway, Friday is a little cultural experience, a lot of record shopping, a lot of record bonanza, and then a nice izakaya dinner, and then a record listening bar, like a really supremely cool record listening bar. And we can get ahead of it by maybe, finding out how many we are and we all want to go together. Maybe we can get a private kind of experience. I could set that up. We have a lot of time to think about this. But it could be my favorite place, Bar Martha, or it could be Tokyo Listening Bar, or it could be Toe, or it could be Pink Noise, a new place I just discovered. There's all kinds of places. It could be a couple of places. It could be, a proper record listening jazz Kisa 10 kind of experience. Is anyone here cool enough to be admitted to the Supremely Cool Record Bar? You have to kind of, don't show up in like, shorts and, hiking, or New Balance. You gotta spiff up a little bit. Tokyo's a quite fashionable place, and that's kind of the dead giveaway of, especially Americans. The Europeans, they sort of dress the part a little bit, but no like pajamas, no Uggs, baseball caps worn backwards. I'm a schlub, but make it work. You got to make it work. But it's a good point, BK. Who said that? Breakfast King of Loyola. So just got here. I went to the robot bar with the screaming guitars. Yeah, the robot there. Okay, so there was this restaurant in well, not even a restaurant. There was like a dinner. It wasn't even dinner. There was this crazy show, like a night, like a Vegas show almost, that was like 4 stories underground in this very dodgy place in Shinjuku, where they had it must have been like the remnants of like a train station or something, because it was this giant void, like 4 stories underground, and you had to go through this like vaudevillian, like phantasmagorical sort of, dream, dreamish, I don't even know how to put it, but it was just this, you had to go through this like very, very crazy tunnel underground, about 4 layers, where there's like neon lights and velvet walls and robot everythings, and just, like something from like an amusement park. And you'd go down, and then when you got down to this to the basement floor, there were these bleacher seats, sort of like a movie theater, but there was one on this side and one on this side, and the 2 audiences faced each other, and these from both sides of this both sides opposite each other came this sort of like battling robot circus. These giant robots that these girls were dancing upon, and like a sort of a parade floats and everything lit up in LEDs and these crazy fucking robots and like rock and roll people and Shibuya. It was crazy. It was very, very, very crazy. And it was insane. And lucky are those who got to see it once, because it was really, really nuts. And, but yeah, okay. So yeah, I wish it was still around, but there's other things that are kind of like that. Not like the robot restaurant, but anyway, that was the robot restaurant that people keep mentioning. So Friday night we go to a list jazz kisa. Maybe we go to 2 and we wrap it up. Yeah, you know, at a reasonable, you know, 1, 2, 3, you know, whatever, midnight, 1, 2 o'clock. Return to our respective corners, and that's the end of Friday. Saturday, you wake up and maybe there's morning coffee. I'm not really sure, but there's like a morning hangout, but maybe you do that on your own, and you meet at Bonus Track Record Fair at this little sort of flea market that I'm talking about. And yes, Grass, I'm talking about April 24th and 25th, I think it is. And we've already had the Thursday night welcome drinks. We've had the Friday day, all day driving around. If there's enough people, we charter a van and we, you know, maybe we take 12 people all around to a bunch of record stores. And like, yeah, everybody pays $10 or $20 and we get a driver all day. I don't know what it would cost, but we go to the Bonus Track Record Fair and it's a free-for-all, and we just spend all afternoon at the Bonus Track Record Fair. And you can take your time and we can leisurely spend 3 or 4 hours enjoying the Bonus Track Record Fair. And there's food, there's wine, there's coffee, there's all kinds of festivities to enjoy there. There's an organic market, a little like farmers market sort of outlet. There's craft beer. There's there's a little vegan bakery down the way that's very nice. There's the special cake shop that's around there. And there's like all of Shimokita to go explore. So if you have your fill at the Bonus Track, you can go explore Shimokitazawa, and there's just heaps of neighborhoods to wander around, and there's great record shops all around there, okay? So then on Saturday night comes the big event. And this is the Saturday you've spent the afternoon shopping for records, and around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, probably 5 or 6 o'clock, we start the top 5 record event. The top 5, we're going to have an in real life session of top 5 records, and it's going to be a DJ event and talk show from 6 to midnight or something like this. And what that will be, it will be a party. It'll be like a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour party that we can all get together. We can basically overtake a bar, and in that bar we can have a couple of turntables where we can all take turns spinning the records that we brought, spinning the records that we bought. You know, we don't have to be seasoned DJs. We can play an entire side of a record. Everybody can have a 20-minute, 30-minute, 50-minute set, depending on how many people are there. We can all have a set, and it's, you know, if you want to mix records and you want to match beats, you can do that. If you want to just left channel and right channel, you can do that. If you need, you know, Brian, how do I do this? It's listen to here, cue it here, push the button. It can be like almost like a DJ class, you know, the very basic DJ class. Music selectors. Thank you, Yornimer. And we can have some DJ time. So we get 2 or 3 DJs all doing 20-minute sets. Then it's talk show time. And when it comes to talk show time, prior to coming to Tokyo, you have prepared your top 5 record presentation slideshow. You've put together 10 slides of your top 5 records for whatever topic we decide. It might be something like, bring the top 5 records, albums from where you come, albums that represent, you know, where you're coming from in the world. And so you think, okay, how do I interpret that? Then you go through your record collection, you pull out your top 5 records, you select your top 5 records, just like in High Fidelity, and then you snap a photo of the front of the cover and you snap a photo of the back of the cover, And then maybe you have to be able to tell your story about this record, you need that one picture of the time that you saw them live. And then you get into Keynote or you get into PowerPoint and you build a little slide, and it's like the record's on one half of the slide, and then the extra little bits are over on the other side of the slide. Then you turn the album over, and the second bit is the back half of the album and a couple other extra photos that explain what it is, and I'll have the instructions on how you do this. In fact, they're already made. If you go to tokyorecordstyle.com and you go to top 5 records and you follow the link that says how to top 5, you'll see how exactly to do this. But we'll take turns, and you'll get up and you'll get to have a 5 or 10 minute presentation about your top 5 records. And you'll say, for number 5, I picked Led Zeppelin 2, RL version, because blah, 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 blah. I got this in 1982, and it was so beloved, and my father got it for me, and it was really important. And the back, you'll notice that here, my dad's name, my uncle's name is written on it, and you'll be able to talk about that. It's like, okay, the next one, and you'll control the slide, and you'll do and you'll do a little talk show, you'll do a little presentation. And if we have a lot of people who are willing to do it, then we'll make enough talk show time for that. And if there's only a few people who want to do it, then we'll have more DJ time. So then it'll be break time, and we can go back to DJing. It'll be the next 3 people who have a little DJ set, and we'll listen to more music, and then it'll be time for talk show, and then it'll be time for DJ, and then a little bit of time for talk show, then it'll be a little bit of time for DJ, and then we'll wrap up our night, and we'll congratulate ourselves and say that was a fucking killer event. I loved it. It was great. Anybody want to go to karaoke? Who's going to karaoke? I'm out. I'm done. Half of you guys go back to the hotels, go back to your Airbnbs, and the party goes until, oh my God, 4 in the morning. We did karaoke at this random place, and we got really hammered, and it was really fun, and there's like maybe there's an after party for those who are so ambitious. That's Saturday, okay? So Thursday night, welcome drinks. Friday night, record shopping. Saturday is record fair in Shimokitazawa, followed by top 5 records, talk show, and DJ event. You're basically exhausted. You've had enough of these guys and these gals. And what are we doing? What's the Sunday plan? I don't know. We go to the park, and we bring a little sound burger with us, and we have a picnic. It's nice time of year. There's still sakura trees, cherry blossom trees in bloom. We have an afternoon picnic, and we bring, egg salad sandwiches from the convenience store, and Fammy chickens and potato chips, and we have a little picnic or something like that. And maybe we go to one record store that's not far from there. And I don't know, maybe it spills into something else later in the night. Okay, so that's the 3.5 days. Welcome drinks, record shopping, record fair, talk show, picnic. That's my birthday weekend. We have a little birthday party for Grass. We have a little birthday cake. Then we're not done quite yet, because then you're officially off. Go to Kyoto. Go to Naoshima, go to Mount Fuji, go do whatever you want to do. Go have your Japan trip that you want to have, that you've been dreaming about for a long time. Hopefully you haven't blown your entire record budget, because there's record stores in Kyoto. There's record stores in Osaka. And you hop on the bullet train and you zip down there and you do your thing, and you have a great time, and you spend another 3 or 4 or 5 days. Reserve the Lost in Translation karaoke room in Shinjuku. I think that one's in Shibuya, actually. I think I know the one that you think that it is, but I think it's a different one. Let's debate that online, Infidelity. Because the reason I say that is because a German magazine, I forget who it was, they asked me to go reshoot all the Lost in Translation locations at the 10-year anniversary mark, and I went and I reshot them all. And I think that, if I remember right, the karaoke place is in Shibuya. Maybe the outside is in Shinjuku, but the inside's in Shibuya. I forget how. Maybe there was a handful of those kind of places. But I remember I had to go to a restaurant, and I had to knock on the door and be like, "Can I come into your restaurant and go out onto your balcony and take a picture of the karaoke con across the way?" And they were like, "Yo." So And then, but the one other little bit that we can tack on to this, for those interested, for those who haven't quite had their fill yet, maybe either the next Monday and Tuesday, or perhaps the following weekend, but anybody who's so ambitious, we can go out to Nagano and we can go out to Cellar Records. For those who want to hop in the car and go drive up into the mountains and maybe go out to my friend Brian Whitehead's house and go to his Tenagui, his 250-year-old farmhouse, and see that and get out of Tokyo a little bit. And if there's a few of us and enough of us to like fit in a car, and maybe, I don't know, have like a, summer camp kind of trip and go overnight somewhere and get to Nagano and to go to this amazing record store and this amazing shrine and this amazing lake and this spectacular place out in the countryside of Japan, kind of mountain countryside, then we can go out there for maybe a day trip or maybe one overnight trip and come back. And that's a little bonus thing for those who are interested. But officially, the Tokyo Records Summit is just the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Come for half of it, come for all of it, pay your own thing. There'll be things that you can pitch in to maybe meals or maybe the karaoke. It's like, okay, everybody, there's 12 of us. It's $30 a person. So you all, there's going to be a bit of that, and we'll have, we'll make it so that it's all like easy. I'm not going to make any like all-inclusive kind of thing like that, but that's it, guys. That's the brainstorm. AZ Beltree says Cellar is the coolest. It's really, really cool. It's super, super cool. So that's a little bit of a more sort of concrete soft launch. It's not even the soft launch, it's the soft launch. But I didn't really have much to riff on this morning, so I wanted to do I thought I could go off on that. I've had it in my head for a long time what it looks like, and it was an exercise for me to kind of just articulate it here, and it was good to hear some feedback. You're right about Shibuya. Oh, I was right. You looked it up. Cheers. But all those karaoke places are great, and it would be fun. The karaoke is totally different in Japan than it is in overseas. First of all, karaoke, it's pronounced differently in Japan. We say karaoke, but it's karaoke, and kara means empty, and oke means orchestra. So karaoke means empty orchestra. And when you go to karaoke in Japan, it's not like you're not at a bar with a bunch of strangers singing in front of strangers. You're actually in your own private like hotel room, and you order drinks on the phone, and they bring drinks to your room, and it's like all inclusive. It's like $20 or $30 for like 2 hours or something. And then there's a little machine, and everybody takes turns singing songs, and you don't have to sing any songs. But those who are so inclined can just take the mic and like sing a song. There's no signing up, and there's no like looking like a fool in front of a bunch of strangers. It's a very kind of like private thing, and it's fun, and it's properly fun. And if you have a couple, then you can grease the wheels of courage. So Arcade broke April 22nd, 23rd, 2027. Yes. So let's I want to make it happen. I really think that it's going to be hard for most, but if you've been to Japan before, it's not that, it's fun and easy, and it's right now very affordable. And if you're an international traveler, then Japan's the best. It's like, it's so good, and it's so fun, and it's like so many like things to untangle and like unwind. It's like, whoa, what is this? Well, it's so brilliant, it's so fun. And it's like, it's a puzzle, it's a giant puzzle. It's a really fun place to travel. And if you haven't been overseas much, or at all, it's actually like a really gentle and safe place to, like, go somewhere for the first time. It's really like it's not dangerous at all whatsoever. Like, you can leave your car unlocked, you can leave your, you can forget your wallet filled with cash on the at the bar. I don't recommend it, but I'm gonna say 9.5 or 9.8 times out of 10, it's gonna find its way back to you. And I see Mark Glassman say Tokyo is awesome, especially with Brian as a guide. Thank you. That's very nice, Mark Glassman. Yeah, I know the city. I've been here a long time, and like, it's so fun to crack the codes on your own. And if you plan it right, you can actually have this kind of soft landing with this record hangout, and you can be like, oh, when we went to that shrine on the first morning that we arrived, Brian explained all this stuff to us, and now when I go to Kyoto, all of this stuff will make a little bit more sense to me because I have a little bit of context. And yeah, we can get to the places that are off the kind of tourist path, a little bit, and it's gonna be awesome. Even if it's 3 of us, and it might be, I still think it'll be fun. And I know that there will be at least 3 of us. But I hope that there's I hope that there's 6. That would be amazing. If I could rally 6 of you guys to come over here, it would be a blast. We could do it, like maybe every 3 years, or every, you could. I almost guarantee you that if you come once, you'll be like, oh man, I gotta go back. I get it. Now I understand why people are so crazy about it. It's so good. It's getting so good, and it's so fun. So I really, really encourage you to consider it. It's a ways off. You can get to planning. You can start saving your ducats. You can get creative with how to fund your trip here. Maybe it just doesn't have to come out of your wallet. Maybe you call your buddies and say, yo, I'm going on a Japan trip. How about if I buy a bunch of records for your store, can you offset the cost of my travel by any chance? Get creative with how you might fund it. And I forgot a very, very key part of this whole thing. Something that I hadn't thought about until very recently is that at this bonus track record fair that I'm talking about, what I have not done yet, but what I intend to do, is I intend to reach out to Yohei-san, and I intend to say, hey, I want to have a booth. I want to have a booth at the record store. And I want it to be our collective booth. And not only can we go enjoy the record fair, but we can actually sell records at the record fair. So you can bring records to subsidize your trip. Bring some highly coveted country of origin, original pressings of something, and try to sling some records at the record fair. And I don't know if that can happen, but I'm confident it can happen. So there's a way that you could pull this off that just doesn't require you going into your savings or working really hard. Bring some records to flip, and maybe we can make that actually a very integral part of the thing, and that would actually make it kind of sustainable. Maybe you can, if you come and you leave, without it having, broken the bank, maybe you'd be inspired to come back again and do it, a subsequent year, a year or 2 later. So what do you think? What do you think? I want you to please be surprised, and please leave a comment when I make the official video that explains all of this. The canonical, how do I say that word? Canonical. When I make like a proper YouTube video about it, pretend that it's the first time that you're hearing about this, and that this live stream isn't really the official announcement. But I just want to keep putting it out there. You gotta throw the dart at the calendar. April 2027. April 2027. Sakura is in bloom at the beginning of April. That's expensive time to travel. At the beginning of April, the cherry blossoms are in bloom. And if you can come for the whole month, fucking come. It's amazing. If you can afford to come for the entire month of April, Japan will blow your mind. But the hotels are expensive and it's crowded. But the sakura, the cherry blossom trees, it's like the Grand Canyon. They are amazing. It's like something to behold, once in your lifetime. It's incredible. It's so special. And not that Japan, has the market cornered on cherry trees. I know that these cherry blossom trees are all around the world, but you don't see like entire giant swaths of land just all filled with pink popcorn blossoms. That it's really cool. That happens kind of at the end of March and the beginning of April. So this March, what am I saying? April 24th, 25th, that's the end of April. And right at the beginning of May, it's a very, very nice time to be in Japan. It's not the oppressive heat of summer yet, and it's past the peak holiday season of cherry blossoms, but it's still really temperate and very nice. And there's still a lot. All the different trees kind of bloom. They have these waves of what do they call it? There's like the schedule of cherry blossoms, and different types of blossoms bloom at different types of the year. I think that's a long weekend in Australia, says Sea Fury. I'll bring records, says Grasshopper. What if it's 25? What if it's 25? What if what's 25? What if it's 25? M Fidelity, help me out. What's M20? What if it's 25? Okay, guys, I'm off to work. That's my morning stream. I do this every day. It's kind of in this same spirit. I'm just kind of like, it's coming right off the dome. Don't really, know always where I'm going. But I appreciate the homies being here. I appreciate anybody who's tuning in who's not part of the Tokyo Record Style community. If you want to come and be a part of the Discord, or you want to come be a part of like the top 5 records thing, it's so fun. We do it every 2 weeks. It's super, super fun. And everybody who contributes to the top 5 editions that we have every 2 weeks, everybody that contributes to them, I post their top 5 selections on Tokyo Record Style's website. So please go check out tokyorecordstyle.com. tokyorecordstyle.com. Please go check out tokyorecordstyle.com, and please go to the top 5 records menu and scroll down to like we're on season 4 right now, I think, and go back to like season 3 and look at our last prompts and see what people have contributed to. There's always about half a dozen people who have done it, and anybody who wants to contribute to it can. And we link if you hover over the individual selections, it'll take you to either like the Spotify link or the YouTube link or the Apple Play link or whatever. And it's I'm quite proud of it. It's a pretty cool way to discover music. So when I'm kind of looking for something, that's where I'm going to look for music. Yesterday I listened to Judas Priest. I never listened to Judas Priest, but somebody put forth Judas Priest for one of their top 5 prompts, and so I was just like shredding yesterday afternoon. I won't be able to make April. Oh, but Savannah and I are planning a trip again to Tokyo. Oh, bummer. Okay. Okay, guys. Any questions? Any comments? Any last bits? I'm getting ready to sign off here. I want to thank everybody for coming to hang out. Sea Fury, Breakfast Canelo, Yornimer, Mark Glassman, AZ Beltree, Marty in Oregon stopped by, Mazzy, Arcade Broke, hold on. Yeah, and everybody else. And sorry if I didn't drop your name right there. M Fidelity, did I say? I want to say everybody's name, but yeah. It's reading and driving, not a good idea. Okay, yeah, like I said, if you want to get connected, DM me at Tokyo Record Style, either on the website or on my Instagram, and mark your calendar, April 2027. Mark your calendar. Let's make this. It'd be super fun. And this is what I do. This is in my wheelhouse, to like bring people from overseas to come and have a good, memorable time, make some core memories and some new friends, and make some connections, like make a really unforgettable memory. So I almost guarantee you, it's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. See you out there on the tubes, guys. And thanks for hanging out. And until next time, I'll see you at the record store. Bye.